I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
Television's a goddamn amusement park. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. Come on! Oh!
More of us really need to start taking the perspective that what we're doing here isn't right. We need to get in touch with what's out there, with just the whole idea that, God, how did we get here? What makes me be here? As opposed to going home after work, turning on TV, watching 3 hours of television, going to bed, getting up the next morning, going to work and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, like robots. Throw the televisions away. Just throw them away.
Colton has a TV.
By the proper mental, emotional disciplines, we can become healthy individuals in terms of our minds, our emotions, our hearts, and our jobs. These are the things we've got to work for. And if it means that we must do it, we can, with one quick twist of the wrist, get rid of most of the corruptions of society and face the fact that these are imaginary corruptions. We've got plenty of real ones. We don't have to build them up that way. What we have got to do is find out what corruptions are still lurking in us and correct them. And as soon as we correct the mistakes in ourselves, we begin to see better values in other people. Because we see in others usually what we are ourselves focused upon. So don't let the great big bad tube get you. Be very careful about it, and when uncertain, turn it off. And you'll find that if you turn it off to do something interesting, beautiful, or wonderful, you will never miss it again.
Americans spend nearly $4 trillion a year on health care, and yet they are among the least healthy people in the world. Something is not right here, and what we need is a new outlook, a new view on health.
We have the wrong approach in America. We are looking to medicine to try to get us healthy. They know nothing about health, nothing.
Most medical doctors, I believe, are inherently good people with good intentions, but they cannot improve your health because they've been given the wrong information.
If you got a lobotomy, you'd be smarter than any of the doctors when it comes to health.
In fact, doctors receive, on average, only 2.5 hours of nutritional instruction in 6 years of medical school. It's time for a new approach to health from the world's most cutting-edge nutrition expert, ready to revolutionize the way you think about health. Scientist and author, Raymond Francis.
Health is not, we think of it as a right. We need a right to health care. It isn't. Health is a responsibility, and we need to teach this to our children. We need to accept this responsibility for ourselves And the good news is that if you do this, you will feel so good and life will be so wonderful. Most people don't even know what it feels like to be healthy because they've never been healthy in their entire lifetime. Here we have this unprecedented epidemic of chronic and degenerative disease, the cancer, the heart disease, the diabetes, the osteoporosis, the Alzheimer's, all of asthma, all these horrible chronic diseases. All of these things can be stopped dead in their tracks with what we already know. Never Be Sick Again is a breakthrough, revolutionary book. There are doctors all over the world that are reading Never Be Sick Again and calling us and saying, I've practiced medicine for 30 years. I've read your book. I'm changing the way I practice medicine. I've constructed a model of health that is so simple that you can teach it to a child, and so powerful that you can cure almost anything. In fact, there are people that buy Never Be Sick Again with stage 4 terminal cancer, go home and cure that cancer. And this happens over and over and over again. Well, why can they do that? Because there is no such thing as cancer. You see, there's only one disease, and that's a malfunctioning cell. See, we're all made of little units of life called cells. And all of us started life as a single cell in our mother. If that cell was functioning the way it's supposed to, you were healthy. It's no different today. Now that we're made of multi-trillions of cells, tens of trillions of cells, if every cell in your body is functioning the way it's supposed to, you can't be sick. The only way you can be sick is when the large number of cells malfunction. And then you'll start to notice symptoms. Cells malfunction for only 2 reasons. Either they're not getting everything that they need to function properly, or they're getting something that is interfering with their normal function. Don't eat processed foods. Don't eat foods that come in boxes and cans and jars, and which is what most people do. 90 cents out of the American food dollar is spent on processed foods. Well, processed foods are low in nutrition and high in toxins. What are the 2 causes of disease? Malnutrition and toxicity. So that's what processed foods cause disease. In my book, I talk about the big 4. Sugar, white flour, processed oils, dairy, and excess animal protein. These are the causes of most of our diseases. If we were to do just one thing, outlaw sugar, we'd probably have an enormous impact on the health of the population.
Absolutely.
Reducing everything from colds and flu to cancer and diabetes and heart disease. Sugar is a deadly, deadly metabolic poison.
Look at how much sugar the average American eats. Now, this is actually about how much the average American eats. Now, I'm not eating any sugar, so someone's eating my average. Now, as I'm talking, I'm going to continue to give you how much sugar you get in a day. This is one day. One single grain like that is enough to weaken your immune system. That's enough to weaken your immune system. This is enough to put you at half your life expectancy.
Most people in our society, including myself, before I took ill and almost died, think of disease as something like a meteorite. Falls out of the sky, hits you over the head, and bam, you've got diabetes, you've got cancer, you've got something else. And I think that's the popular perception. It isn't that way, of course. Health is a choice. Where did we get the idea that if somebody was sick, we could help them by giving them poison?
Right.
I mean, here you have a system here where there's only 2 causes of disease, deficiency and toxicity. Well, prescription drugs cause